Okay, hi, this is Markeitha and welcome to Healthy Living. Welcome back. You can reach me at markeitha.com. That's markeitha.com or healthyliving.company. There you'll see my website. I have several products. I have potato, I have gumbo concentrate, rice, as well as water. So if you want those items fresh, you'll have to send me a message so I can make it for you. You can also connect with me here in our next level studio. It's 310-549-1113. Now, the producer of the show is T-Jams. That's T-J-A-M-Z. And you can reach him at tjamsmusic.com. There he has a whole host of songs. You can write lyrics to it, send it back to him. You can message him. He also does web design. So you can reach him at tjamsmusic.com. You can also reach him here at the Next Level Studios at 310-549-1113. You can also call and ask questions, and I will answer those questions after the show at the same number at the Next Level Studios, 310-549-1113. Okay, so let's get into the show, and what I want to do is the coronavirus update. Also, I'm going to do some exercises at the end, so stay tuned to the whole show. So I got my information from the CDC website. I also got it from the CalOSHA website. I got it from the Worldometer webpage and Medscape. I also received it from LA's county website, as well as for all the updates. Okay, so the coronavirus updates. Now, as of today, from the Worldometer, we have 31,122,219 cases worldwide. We have 366 deaths worldwide. However, there has been people who have recovered, several million. 22,720,557 patients. Now, the U.S. is leading in cases as well as death. Currently, is 6,987,484, and deaths we have 204,009. The second leading is India in cases, which is 5,499,902, and third in deaths, which is at 87,312. Brazil is third in cases with 4,531 with 589,000. But the second in death. So Brazil is second in the most death at 136,677. Now, per Marcia Flilak at the Medscape, on August 18, 2020, there's a list of healthcare providers, healthcare workers, as myself, nurses, first responders, etc. The list is not complete, but there's 2,012 healthcare workers that have died, and that is really terrible. And this is why you need to wear your mask and you wear your goggles and keep your social distancing, because when you come to us, you're endangering us. So keep that going. There's 386 of us in the U.S. The youngest was 21 and the oldest was 99. Now, the major cases they have mild to death. Those what the symptoms range from. Symptoms include cough, fever. Other serious symptoms include shortness of breath. You know, when you cannot breathe or you feel like you're having a hard time breathing, that's shortness of breath. And then your auxiliary muscles are involved, like these, like this, like you're moving and you still can't catch your breath. Okay, also repeated shakes and chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, loss of smell and taste. Now, the World Health Organization declared this a pandemic on March the 11th. So we've been running as a pandemic since then. It started from Wuhan, China back in December 2019, but who knows? I think it might have started before then. And this has spread it to 213 countries and 2 international territories. Now, at first, this is what is called the coronavirus, the SARS-CoV-2. Some people call it the novel virus, which means new. This is a severe acute respiratory syndrome virus. It's also a beta coronavirus like the SARS-CoV, which is the Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome. So they all originated from bats, and these are in Wuhan, China. This, like I said, in December 2019. At first, it was linked to live animals to person, and then it started spreading to people. So now it's really people to people spread. So this started in Wuhan, China, and now it has reached across the world. So now everybody knows that it is people to people spread right now. So it's very important that you follow all the guidelines. Now the symptoms are wide, as stated earlier, and also they can cause more severe respiratory illness. So if you're having problems, make sure you call 911 or go to the ED, but just alert people that you think you may have the COVID symptoms so they can protect you and others as you enter into the ED. Okay, call your healthcare provider, your primary provider. If you're starting to have trouble breathing, your lips turn blue or purple, sometime with us, with our dark melon, it might be purple for people of color. Also, if you have pressure, chest pressure, like someone's literally sitting on your pressure, and you're unable to wake up or you can't stay awake, that shows weakness and lack of oxygen. Blue lips, face, you can tell when it turns blue. You can see it. It's a true blue, or it may be a purplish blue, like I said, for us people that are of color and darker. And man, do not hesitate to go and get care, because you tend to wait, and we don't want you guys to die. So don't wait, men. This impacts everybody, so you need to go to the ED, but just call ahead. The emergency department is ED. Now, if you're seeking help and you don't have a regular primary care provider, then you can call 211 and they can connect you with a provider in your office, in your area, rather. Now, don't be afraid to go for other things like, signs and symptoms of a stroke, like your mouth is drooping or your speech is slurred. The longer you wait, the more it becomes permanent damage. Just let them know what's going on, call ahead, and they will protect you. We don't want you to have permanent damage when you could have had just temporary limitations, okay? You can also die. Your complications could get worse because of your delayed in your care. Now, who's more vulnerable? People that are 65 and older, but it impacts everybody, and everybody's dying, including infants. So don't think because you're young you're not going to get it. Matter of fact, there's people, most of the current deaths and hospitalizations are the people that are under 50. So it can happen to everybody, so everybody has to be protected. Now, also people with underlying health conditions like heart conditions like hypertension, cardiac disease, also chronic lung disease like asthma, COPD, also diabetes. Now, those are the most common disease process that people have died. So just you have to make sure you stay on top of your blood pressure, stay on top of your diabetes, keep your blood sugars controlled. Also, kidney disease, autoimmune diseases like HIV, obesity, all of those things, these are things that are underlying conditions that can make the coronavirus and make you more susceptible or increase risk factor. Also, autoimmune systems when they're weaker in ability. Also, obesity is a big one, because obesity, it tends to lead to diabetes type 2 for the adults that haven't been going to the doctor. You may not even know you have diabetes type 2. So if you're overweight, it can throw you into diabetes type 2 and you never had that before. So you need to go check, get your physical, make sure you're current and up to date. Also, children are getting this because they call it an multi-system inflammatory syndrome for children, because what it does, it attacks the hearts and the lungs and all the major organs, and it can kill them. It started in the UK, but now it's worldwide. So this is a severe problem for children and infants. It's similar to the Kawasaki disease. It has features like fever, diarrhea, body rash. I mean, the whole body is red. It turns red and bumpy. And external, and it has swollen tongue. It looks kind of like a thick strawberry. Red skin, palms of the hands and the feet. Red eyes. Like an eye infection, but no drainage. Most typical eye infection, you have the drainage and you get the crust around your eyes. This is the same symptoms, but no crust, so no drainage. Also, joint pain and inflammation of major heart, lung, and other organs. And this is worldwide now, so You have to be mindful of that. Now, all of those groups are more at risk of developing the coronavirus. Now, there still are patients that develop it that doesn't have those different medical risks. So don't think you're exempt because you don't have any medical risks. You are. Now, there's healthcare workers and patients that are in ICU. They get the first priority on testing. So LA City and LA County has created more than 35 different sites where you can go get your testing. But make sure you just call ahead to make sure you have an appointment so you can be seen. Now, there's increased cases, so it may take a long, so be patient, and you may have to come back depending on how many people are going through the line because we have increased cases of the coronavirus. Now, the top priorities is going to be, of course, the patients that are already in the hospital, they're in ICU, they have to be tested first. Healthcare providers that are taking care of them, like the nurses, the doctors, respiratory tech, those people take along, so be patient, and you may have to come back depending on how many. Just so you know that those, and the people that are greater than 65 is also a high priority, like in our healthcare facilities and when they come into the hospital. So there are plenty of testing sites available in different locations in more regions, and there's a lot of drive-through testing sites that you can go to, which is great. So call in your area or go on your website and find out where your locations are in your area. There's more available for everybody now. Now, the SEIU sisters and brothers, my sisters and brothers, we fight to make sure that we get all the safety and testing available for us. Since we are taking care of the patients, we fight for those type of situations. Also, drive-through testing, there's plenty of for us now, so we can get those thanks to our fight of our courageous leader, Katarina Thomas. We're fighting for ongoing full PPE meaning personal protective equipment. You have the N95s, which are fit tested for you. So we wear these masks in the hospitals. And we also have a new recommendation from CDC is that you have goggles. And the most important thing is to make sure they fit snugly on your face, so then it doesn't have vapors that go into your eye. But I'll get into that in a minute. Also, a lot of people, if you're not working in the hospital, you can wear a mask. Some are like this, or you can create your own mask. You can wear those too. And you can create them with just, cutting out a piece of hanky or a piece of material. This is my SEIU 721 hanky. And what you can do is you fold it in half, right? And then you're going to fold it from both sides equally. And then you're going to put the elastic bands on either end. Depending on how big you want it, you fold it in half. And you put the bands on either end, like so, like so. And then you fold them in, like so. And then you grab the bands, and you have a mask. So you can make all types of cloth masks for yourself, or you can buy them. They're readily available now, and you have a mask. So there's no real reason why anybody shouldn't have a mask on, right? So there's no reason for you not to have a mask, and you have to wear a mask. Now, also for us in the hospitals, we have gloves. We also have our water-resistant gowns that we have to wear to protect ourselves. So these are the things that we wear as healthcare providers. So you have protecting your face, your nose, you have your goggles. This is what we get in the hospital. And then we also have a face shield that wraps around your face to cover your face. Okay, so these are the type of things that we wear. You can order your own and you can be more protective as well, but this is what we fight for, to make sure that we have enough personal protective gear, so when we come and take care of you guys, we're protected. Now, as of 9/6, the total cases on LA County there was 14,448 cases for first responders and healthcare workers. 80% positive of first responders and 87 deaths amongst us in LA County. Now, worldwide, you heard there was 2,012. 37% of the cases are mostly in skilled facility, and it's always at least 33% or higher is always nurses. So we're in direct contact, close contact, so we're more vulnerable. And even in the hospitals, they're at 33%. So when you leave the home, you need to have on your mask no matter what's going on. Because, see, we take care of you regardless to whatever your political side is, what your racial ethnicity or origin is. We're going to take care of you regardless, because that's what we do. We take care of our patients and we take care of our clients. So we ask that you do the same respect and wear your mask. Now, I was talking to you about eye protection, because the coronavirus is entering into the eye through the conjunctiva. It's the lining of the eye where the virus can get into. So now CDC is saying, okay, you need to wear good eye protection, which is the goggles. Also, if you go on site, you can see plenty of science that shows you that the virus actually travels up to 12 feet in 40 to 50 seconds. So that's more than the 6 feet. So can you imagine if you don't have your mask on and how far that can travel? So the goggles are very important. You have to have them so you have the proper fit, so they fit snugly and cover your eyes here so that the vapors don't enter into your eyes. There's also the kinds that have anti-fog on there so they don't fog as easily. So it's best for you guys to get your goggles. You can get them on anywhere, Amazon.com or wherever you want to get your goggles. Get you some goggles, because you want to put on, for the best protection for eye protection, is to wear your goggles and your face shield, right? That's for the best protection for your eyes, because the face shield covers the sides of your face. So if there's any splashes and anything else, it won't get on your face. So that's the best protection for you. Now, also, I want to remind you that if you're not worrying about splashes or anything like that, then you don't have to really worry about your face shields. But me, I'm going to wear both, because I want to protect myself, because you never know who you're next to or coming around, and some are non-compliant. Now, there's different types of goggles. There's different types, and they have the kind what they call vented, which is like the opening on the sides where vapors and splashes can get in. And then they have the type that is indirect vented, where it protects you, but it's a little opening there on the side, but it doesn't let it get in as easily. And then there's the non-vented, which doesn't have any openings on the side at all. It's a smooth, closed connection, and there's no openings. Those are the best types for you to have and to wear if you're worrying about protection. So directly vented goggles they'll allow splashes and sprays to get into the side, because there's vented openings. Openings, when I say vented, I mean openings. So according to the experts at 123, vented goggles are open pores, such as the sides of the goggles, like I was talking about. Vented goggles are typically used for the impact of hazards, not chemical splashes or vapors. Indirect vented goggles provide protection from splashes, covered vents that allow for air to move in, but it won't prevent the liquids from going. It'll prevent the liquids from going directly into the goggles. Non-vented goggles have no venting, and it protects you from dust, from mist, liquids, and vapors. So directly vented goggles may allow penetration and splash. So the best ones for you to have is non-vented or indirect vented goggles for your best protection. Now the face shield, like I said, it covers the rest of your face. So the goggles are just for your eyes, right? It'll cover your eyes. So the coronavirus can't get in there because you're protected from the side as well as from the front. And you have to make sure they're fitting. You don't want the kind that are too big. Like these here are too big for me. They don't fit good. They're too big. You see all these opening spaces and all in here? That's too big. These are much better for me. These fit nice and snug. See that? That's what you want. So the face shield will protect the rest of your face. You know, the skin, the forehead, and the rest of your face, the facial areas. So in order to protect yourself, and then you have to make sure that the face shield has a crown, which is this part right here. It has a crown, and it also covers around the face, all points of your face, your ears. See, it covers that too, the first part of your ears, and then also to your chin. You want to make sure it covers down to your chin. So those are the good things that you should have for as protecting yourself from eyewear. Eye prevention, so you don't get the coronavirus. So you want to protect yourself as much as possible. So, but like I said, if you're not going to be around splashes like us in the hospital, or you see, or if you know someone that you're going out with that refuses to wear a mask, then you might want to wear your face shield and your goggles. So you want to put your goggles on to protect your eyes. You want to make sure you have your mask on. Right? You put your mask on. So you have your mask. And then you have your face shield. Right? So now I am fully protected. My whole face is covered. I have my mask on. And I have on my goggles. Okay? That's the best protection far as eye protection for you when you go out if you want to stay protected. Okay? So that's what I wanted to tell everybody and alert everybody to, is to make sure that they have the proper eye protection for themselves. And I have been saying this for many months, that I thought you should cover your eyes. So now CDC is catching up when they should have did that a long time ago. Is told everybody to protect their eyes, but they didn't. Now also in the hospital, the nurses have those popper, which is air purifying respirators, where you'll see them. It has like a whole complete headgear. They may have hoses on the outside and connected to a power point. Now those cover the eyes. It covers everything. It is a great protection for us in the hospital. So that is fantastic for us, but you do not have to have that. People who cannot have a fit tested mask, then they use the poppers, because there's some masks don't fit everybody, especially men with beards, and sometimes people will have larger faces or bridges of their nose, so they would have to use a popper. Now, according to the Mayo Clinic, the coronavirus has brought a lot of unsettling feelings, right? An uncertainty. It has changed the routine of your daily activity, financial pressure. Some people have lost their jobs, or they have hours that have been cut back, social isolation. So a lot of people have a hard time dealing with the social isolation. So I just want to alert you guys that you have to take care of yourself, right? And you have to, as leaders of an SEIU, we have to always make sure we filter through the information, and because there's a lot of misinformation out there on social media and on the TV. So we always have to correct the information to make sure it's correct when you hear the information. Now, stress and anxiety, fears, sadness, loneliness, and the other mental disorders, it makes it even worse if you already have anxiety and if you already have depression. But even if you're a strong person, you can get frustrated and you can get stressed and you can have anxiety because of the totality of all the situations that the pandemic has brought to everyone's life. Now, you have to take care of your mental health, which is your brain, because your brain works everything. So if your brain is not functioning well, then your body won't function well. So you have to take care of your mental health. Self-care strategies are, for good mental health. You can help take charge of your life. You can only control what you can control. in your environment. So just be mindful of that. Do the same things, get a routine like you had before. If you were laid off, get a routine of your what you do every day and try to stick to it while you're at home. Participate in regular physical activity, exercise. I'm going to show you some exercises at the end of the show, so stay tuned. It helps to reduce anxiety. And a lot of times when I can't sleep at night, I do some exercises and it helps me to relax and go to sleep. There's different apps where you can do like dance moves and exercise different things that are online, so you look and you can find it that way. So exercise is recommended by the CDC as well as the WHO organization, which is the World Health Organization. Eat healthy. Don't eat a bunch of junk food, a bunch of fries and, super size and all those sodas. And I got to admit, I kind of fell off track drinking too many sodas. So I had to get back on track and eat more healthy. Stop eating as much bread, because bread causes a lot of sugar breakdown. I mean, multiple tablespoons of sugar. So you have to be careful of the bread. You want to limit the caffeine because it can aggravate your stress and increase your anxiety. So sodas, coffee, all of that stuff has caffeine in it. So you want to limit that if you're feeling stressed and having anxiety. Avoid tobacco and alcohol. Alcohol, it actually causes depression. So the aftermath of alcohol use is depression. If you're smoking, you're causing damage to your lungs, so that's going to make you more susceptible to the coronavirus. Monitor your teens, make sure they're not vaping. Teens are getting really seriously ill or they're dying because of those vapors. But now those vapes, I think, are not being produced anymore. So make sure your children don't have those, so that doesn't cause them to have an increased risk of having severe lung problems and dying. We don't want that to happen. Okay, limit the screen time. Turn that sucker off. At least, like say for instance, 30 minutes before you actually want to go to sleep, you have to turn off the screen time. Whether it's the TV, computers, laptop, phone, social media, get off of that stuff, because you got to relax first before you can actually go to sleep. So you want to take a few minutes of quiet time for yourself. Turn the lights off, kind of relax. You can read the Bible or read a favorite book, whatever you need to do to relax, then that's good. Sometimes just being away from certain people for a few minutes, your own me time. So that's your me time. So you take your me time and you'll be able to relax when you're doing your own me time. Whether it's taking a long bath, you tai chi, yoga, meditation, soothing music that's soft and relaxing. Those kind of things help you to relax. So take care of your mind, reduce the triggers. Keep your regular routine. Get a routine and stay into that. Those are the things you can control, because you can't control the pandemic. So the only thing you can control is how you deal with your situations. So just set little goals. Don't be setting big goals. Oh, I'm going to accomplish all of this. I'm going to clean the whole house today. Well, you're not going to clean that whole house in one day. So set little tasks. I'll clean the kitchen today. Okay, that you can accomplish and you won't be disappointed. Limit exposure to the news and the media. There's a lot of stuff out there that's not accurate. And if you're watching it, it's causing you more stress and anxiety. If you want to know the current updates, go to the CDC website or the WHO, the World Health Organization website. Although CDC is kind of, I think, behind on some of the updates. In general, they typically have what you need, like, wearing masks, face coverings. Now you need to get your goggles, so get your goggles. You can order those online. You don't have to even go out. Remember, there's a lot of deliveries that can happen straight to your door. So order you some goggles so you can have eye protection. That could be one thing you can control. I'm going to order some goggles for me and the family. That's a goal you can make. Now, also, you want to make sure that you stay busy. Like I say, set a schedule, set your routine. Some people don't like to be at home. Some people like to be in offices and interacting. Some people are social bees. Well, Email your peers. Call them. You guys do like Microsoft Teams, or get on the internet and do FaceTiming. Whatever you need to do to see them or interact with them, go ahead and do that. You don't have to be in the office with them to do that. That'll help decrease your anxieties and frustration. It'll help you focus more. So focus on positive thoughts. If I sit here and say, oh, I'm going to, the pandemic is going to take too long, I don't know when it's going to happen. None of us know. But we do know that life will not be the same as it was before the pandemic. So you might as well just accept that, because that's just the way it is. Okay? So once you accept it, then it won't cause you as much stress. And then you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Wearing your mask, wearing your goggles, washing your hands 20 seconds, staying 6 or more feet away from people. I like to stay 12 if I can. But make sure you're keeping your distance. Use your moral compass. You can get spiritual support from your pastor. There's things online if you can't contact your pastor. Set some small priorities. Like I said, I need to clean the oven. Okay, I can accomplish that. I'm going to clean the oven today. So some little things little small goals that you can accomplish. Connect with others, like I say, to keep your strengths from your relationship. Keep those strengths going. Keep building them. Keep talking to them like you used to every day. Make connections, but keep your social distancing. All of these parties you young guys are going to and gals, you can't do those gatherings. You can't be around each other with masks. You can do it online, but you can't have these parties. And as you can see, after every gathering, there's always an increased cases, and some people eventually die. And I don't want that to happen to people. So follow the rules. Wear the mask, face covering, get you some gargles now, and wash your hands and keep your 6 feet distance. And usually when you're drinking alcohol, that's why a lot of the bars are closed, because people just lose any safe restrictions or guidelines because they're drunk, right? When you're drunk, you're all up on each other. You lose your inhibitions and no self-control. So that's why a lot of the bars are closed, because of that reason. So stay away from parties. Stay away from huge family gatherings right now, because you don't know what family member was exposed to what. But within your household, you know what's going on within your household. So keep your gatherings that way. Support other family members and friends if they have to now all of a sudden quarantine because they got exposed to somebody at work. Call them. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Support them through that quarantine so they don't feel so isolated and unsupported. And call your family member if you know one is more vulnerable than the other. Call, hey, how you doing? Texting's good. If you want to carry on the whole conversation, there's many ways that you can do to help people. If they're in a hospital, the nurses are doing really good with using the electronics like the tablets and the FaceTiming and stuff like that, so you can see your loved one if they're in the hospital. So there's a lot of things that the nurses are stepping up to do to help you with that. Now, stress is normal in every day. That happens. Stress actually makes you more productive, but when it gets to be too much is when it becomes a problem. When you have difficulty coping, you're feeling afraid and hopeless, if you're having symptoms and you need help, then you need to make sure you contact your primary provider, talk to your provider. They may refer you to a mental health specialist so that they can do an evaluation. Sometimes you just need somebody else to talk to relieve the anxiety. So don't feel bad about it. I mean, we need our brain. If we don't have our brain functioning correctly, nothing else is going to function. So it's nothing wrong with getting mental health assistance. It's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a good thing. You can, like I said, you can contact your minister, your primary, who will connect you. They do have stress programs for you at work. They have employee assistant programs at most work sites. If not, inquire about them, but they will have resources for you if they don't have it. You can contact the National Alliance of Mental Illness. or substance abuse and mental health services. Also, if you're feeling to the point where you feel like, feeling very hopeless, you feel like you don't want to live anymore, you can't take it anymore, please call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. Again, that's the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. 800-273-8255. Now they also have a chat, a web chat, and this is all together. Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and then .org/chat. Again, it's all together. Suicide Prevention Lifeline.org/chat. So you can talk to people that way. If you don't feel comfortable on the phone, you can go on the web and chat. The main thing is to continue all these strategies to take care of yourself. So, and anybody else that you see that's getting more and more withdrawn, they're not interested in being around or interacting in conversation. You notice their grooming is going down. Someone that used to comb their hair and wear makeup, they're not doing it anymore. Start inquiring about what's going on. And these are the people that are in your household. So you should know them very well, and you should know when they're in trouble. So just start asking the questions. A lot of times they don't know how to talk about it. So ask the questions for them. Now, other things you can do to take care of yourself, like I said, you can eat the zinc, or you can take zinc. It helps to build your immune system. You can eat zinc products like blackberries. You can buy these and you can clean them and put them in freezer bag and take them out when you want to. That way they don't go bad quickly. I do this all the time, and this is great for that. Also, there's avocados. Avocados is great for zinc. They're also great for acid. You want to increase the acid because coronavirus doesn't like acid. So for acid products, you're talking about apples, oranges, pineapple, and avocados good for that too. So avocados is good for zinc and as well as acid. So I did believe that, but it really is. So this avocado is a great source in a lot of different ways. Now also for increase for the zinc, things like almonds, cashews, pistachios, those are also good zinc products that you can eat and take care of yourself. So also at night, if you can't sleep, like I say, exercise before you go to bed if you're feeling really, really stressed out and you can't sleep. You can also get something natural like melatonin. You can all this stuff you can order online. You don't have to go be running out. And you take the melatonin about an hour before you actually want to go to sleep, and then you can go to sleep. Another thing is you want to take B complex to make sure you keep your blood, your red blood's going, and folic acid is good. All of that's good to help your immune system. So those are the type of things that you can do to help yourself. Also, there's NetiMed. It cleans your sinuses. They got a lot of different things on the website that you can use, and you put sodium chloride into the bottle and you fill it up to the line, and you can rinse your sinuses out. This is very good, especially if you're feeling congested, or if you know that you've been out for a while, then you can clean your sinuses out to help you with that. In the mornings, it's always good to gargle with a mouthwash to make sure whatever mucus that's sitting in your throat, you get that out of there and give a few good coughs, get rid of that stuff so it doesn't stay there. Make sure you're cleaning your touchable items, that frequently touched items, with bleach or some kind of antibacterial, wiping those down, cabinets, knobs, everything in the bathroom. Well, we should be doing that anyway, but wipe things down so you can stay clean. Now, as far as the bleach, if you don't have the spray bleach, get a big gallon. You can get a plastic container and use 1/3 of bleach and the rest water, and you have your own bleach spray for yourself. So it's cheaper that way, and you can make your own products that way. So those are the things that you can do to help protect yourself, and make sure when your groceries come in, you're wiping them down, with antibacterial soap, you're cleaning everything off. I mean, every single package. Wipe it down before you put it up, to make sure that there's no coronavirus on it, because it lasts on paper, cardboard, metal, all of these things anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. So you want to wipe everything down before you put it into your cabinets. And then make sure you wash your hands when you're done. Always wash your hands at least 20 seconds. Teach your kids to wash their hands for 20 seconds. You can have them sing the happy birthday song, or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Gloria is now, I will survive. That'll work too. As long as they get used to cleaning their hands, have them get used to wearing their masks, so when they do go back to school, they're more comfortable wearing their masks, because kids do not like to keep on masks. So you have to get them comfortable so they can wear a mask. Now, another thing, what we're going to do is we're going to get into some exercises. T-Gems. So I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do while you're sitting, lying, or standing, so then you can have some other ways to keep yourself in shape. So there's no reason for you not to move or exercise. Okay, so we'll take a break, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, see you in a few minutes. go up and down, right? And then when you get more advanced, scoot down some. And what's most important is to, hold your abs in as you're doing it. And get your arms involved. And then you can go even further down when you get more advanced. Right? You can do these. And then when you get more advanced, you can also put your knees involved, right? Raise them up. So, raise your knees up and down, like so, to add extra movements to your routine. So you can do those as you're laying down or in the couch when you're watching TV, right? Now we're going to move down here on the floor. So these are more exercises you can do. Now, if you're not used to exercising, then you can use these elastic bands to help you. So you can put it on the bottom of your feet, and you can use them and pull them to raise up. So mostly I do like 3 sets of 10s if you're not used to it, and then you can go further, like 3 sets of 5. Okay, if you don't need it, then you don't have to use it. You can go up and down, and then remember, always do both sides. Okay, always hold your abs in, and then you can always add your arms to get that involved, right? Now you can open. This is a big part right here, this inner side, right, ladies? Men too. You want to get rid of this part, so you can just open and close, right? And then you can, when you get a little bit stronger, you can lift. Remember, always pull your abs in. Okay, so I got to get back on my routine too. So, and then you can also have both of them. You can lift them up. You can lift one if you're not used to it, right? Then you get to the point where you can lift 2. If you can't go all the way, go a little bit. Pull your abs in. Then you can go higher and then higher, right? Pull your abs in. And the slower you go down, it's more intense because you have to control it. Pull your abs in, right? Now, another thing you can do, you can get a retention band again, and you can put it so that it's like right above your knee. So on your side. What you want to do is roll your hips forward. So the way I remind myself is I literally pull my hips forward and I reach forward. And then you can go up and down. 3 sets of 10, or you can hold it to the count of 30. And then you can go stretch it out. You can go up and down. And then you can go back and do it too. Right? So those things you can do. Right? Remember, always on both sides. No cheating. Now, another thing you can do while you're here, I showed you the sit-up. You can always turn over. This is good for your back of your legs, buttocks, and that back part, right? So you turn over and you raise them up. Now, if you can't go all the way and go where you can go, because the main thing is just to get started. Until then, you can do it, right? Okay. So those are some exercises you can do lying down. Now, what we're gonna do now is exercise we can do while we're standing. good for that. Now we're going to do some while we're sitting. Okay, so let's do some while we're sitting. But remember I said you can do them while you're lying, sitting, or standing. So while you're sitting, you can do your scissors, right? You can lift your legs up. You can lift them up with your knees. There's a lot you can do, right? And then you can lift both of them up when you get a chance. If you can't lift them too high, start low, and then bring them higher, right? So these are exercises you can do while you're sitting in a chair. Now, you can also do what I call toe marches. When you're doing individual, you can go both up at the same time. These are good for your calves. Okay, these are good for your calves. So you can go individual, or you can go two at a time, right? Now, another thing you can do, and you can also do this while you're lying too, and I didn't show you that. But for this inner thighs, you just open up and you just close. So you can do this while you're lying too on your back. Open your knees and then you close them. That's good for this inner part right here, this inner chunk of meat that's right here. So that's what's good for that. Okay? Now, you can also do your marches here. Right? Lifting your legs, you can move your arms, you can curl them this way, marching, lifting. You can do all kind of stuff, right? You can also do multiple points, like you can do up, out, right, and then back. Up, out, then back. So you can do those too. Now, another thing you can do for your arms, put one on your wrist, and you put one down, right? So this one's going to be here, so this one you're going to curl. So then you're working your curls. Now to get a better workout, move your arms further apart, and then curl. And then switch it up for the other one, right? Move it apart. The further apart, the better. Because then that gives you the resistance. And then you can curl that way. Right? Right. Now, another thing you can do, when you're watching Power Book 2 is back, right? Power Book 2 is back. Yay! So you can get a little peddler. Now this peddler is this one. And you can just put your feet in the pedal. It has a little speedometer on it so it can tell you how far you pedal. And you have this little resistance in here to make it looser or tighter. And while you watching Power Book 2, or whatever your favorite show is, you can be pedaling, moving your arms while you're working out watching your favorite show. So after a few commercials, you've done 30 minutes, right? And then before you know it, you've done 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you've done an hour, and you be like, whoa, I didn't even know where that went. All that time went, right? And then what I usually do at the end before I stop, then I speed it up. For at least the last, say, 10 minutes of the little exercise time. That way you get a little bit more in, while you're doing your arms. And then also, this is also great for your arms, because you can put it up on a chair or a desk or a table, and you can pedal. You can work your arms out as well. So this provides you with a full type of workout. So, you can go as fast as you want. You can pedal as much as you want. This is relieve anxiety, right? So they can determine where to refer you. But you need to get that going. But if you don't want to know, call the Suicide Protection Lifeline. The most important thing is to just seek help. Now, for the coronavirus, wear your mask, wear your goggles. It is so important for protective eyewear, right? So CDC knows now that we have to wear goggles. We have to protect our eyes. Make sure you don't have any vents on the side. So read the description if you're ordering online. Read the description and make sure you have the right type of goggles. So you don't want any moisture or any vapors to get in through the sides of your eye. And it has to be a good fit. So make sure you have your mask on as well. So when you go out, you need to have on your mask. You're not going to get the N95s like the medical people, like me, the nurses, but you will have a mask. And there's no excuse because you can cut up old t-shirt and fold it and make your own mask. So you can have your own mask. It doesn't have to cost you anything. So the most important thing is that you go out and you go out protected. So I hope this is very beneficial